scenes in Lord of the Rings were just fun in the fact of humor, and then some in the fact of just like pure epicness. I was wondering for each of you guys, which was the funnest for you to shoot?
Epicness.
Epicness.
Was better than fun.
Epicnicity, I think it's said. Epicnicity. Epicinaciousness. Epocinaciousness.
I think the funniest scene that I saw was when Pippin manages to knock down that suit of armor down the well. It's funny on film, but you should have actually seen it on the set. He was absolutely, it was magical. It was wonderful. And for me, whenever I think of it, I have to burst into laughter. It's just wonderful.
I'll tell you, my least favourite scene was outside the doors of Moria, and it was freezing. I don't know if you remember that. We were in a car park, and it had a big pool that the monster was supposedly in, and it just rained, and it was freezing, and we had these hobbit feet at the time that were like sponges, so they would let water in, but they wouldn't let water out. It's the nearest it got. None of us ever said, you know, we can't shoot anymore, but that day I thought, if we do one more take of this, I'm going to have to say, you know, I can't do it anymore. I've never felt so uncomfortable as that day.
It's a cold town to shoot into, isn't it? Wellington is bitter and wet and cold. And
in a car park.
In a car park.
At 5 AM.
The glamour. The glamour. A bit that I just adore, it's one of those kind of filmmaking magic moments where the Helm's Deep, the outside set for that, was built into a real quarry, this giant quarry in Wellington. And tons of concrete laid and the battlements built, and a lot of it was practical, and these levels going up. And when you had the big wide shots of the whole thing, it looked incredible. So you had hundreds of extras and people everywhere, but as you went further up the cliff, they'd done a slight sort of perspective trip where things got smaller and smaller. And way at the top, there were these archers all going. I was looking up going, my God, that's miles away, look how cool, I've got those guys up there. And realised they were all like little Action Man dolls. Stuck up there. So you go, it's kind of the make-believe. Sometimes for all the technology and all the money that's spent, it's the simplest, silliest idea that works the best. So have a look for that in the film. G.I. Joe is go.